Even though gaming is intended to be a relaxing way of spending your free time alone or with friends, there are some situations where things go awry and the outcome leads to tragic consequences. Becoming too addicted to a certain video game may prove to be a problem for both your social life and your health, but when you are so keen on beating a high score or finishing a campaign that you play for tens or even hundreds of hours straight, the results are even more disastrous. Today's video will be all about 10 gamers who tragically died playing video games. A 32-year-old Taiwanese man named Shay died of a heart attack after continually playing for 3 consecutive days. He was unemployed, so the next best thing he could do was to go to an internet cafe and engage in intensive gaming sessions. What is completely outrageous, besides the evident dying while playing video games scenario, is the fact that it took the employees of the cafe and the other gamers present a few hours from Shay's collapse to actually notice that he was dead. A more recent case of gaming sessions that proved to be fatal happened in February of this year when a 35-year-old Brian Vignault took part in a 24-hour-long charity marathon. While playing World of Tanks to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the father of 3 stepped away from the computer after 22 hours of continuous gameplay to take a cigarette break. But because he struggled so much to stay awake and play, he immediately collapsed and died. Known only as Rustan, this hardcore gamer was keen on playing Defense of the Ancients, especially after breaking his leg and becoming bedridden. For a year and a half, the 17-year-old spent more than 2,000 hours playing, meaning that on average Rustan logged in for 5.5 hours per day. But the almost non-stop sessions that took place during the 22 days after he broke his leg were the main cause that led to his death. Stopping only to nap and eat some snacks, this Russian teenager tragically died from lack of physical activity. Jeff Daly and his good friend Peter Bukowski are the first gamers to end up tragically dying after repeatedly playing the arcade game Berserk. Their goal was to beat their own high score each time, and in order to succeed they had to replay the game countless times. Jeff was the first one to suffer from sudden heart failure after going to extreme lengths to perfect his personal high score. 1 year later, his friend Peter spent hours at the local games room only to end up in the same state. The majority of deaths connected to playing video games have one thing in common: the lack of physical activity, but the opposite of this can also kill you, as proved by the ironic situation we are going to discuss. 25-year-old Tim Eves was becoming obsessed with the Wii Fit program, constantly wanting to become better and beat his own high scores. Instead of just jogging in the park or playing a quick game, he enrolled in compulsive sessions that ultimately led to his untimely death. StarCraft is South Korea's favourite esport, and Lee Seong-seop is the most eloquent yet sad example that enforces this idea. After becoming so obsessed with this RTS game, to the extent of losing his job due to his newly found vice, this avid gamer sat in an internet cafe for about 2 full days, continuously playing for 50 hours and only taking short breaks to go to the toilet or take a brief nap. He was reportedly ready to go home when he lost consciousness and fell off his chair, and even though Lee was immediately rushed to the hospital, he died shortly after. Back in 2007, a young man named Jiang planned his national holiday weekend in the simplest of ways, staying indoors and playing video games. All good until now, right? Well, you need to know that this gamer was not the fittest person. In fact, he weighed 330 pounds, and he also didn't plan to simply play for just a few hours each day. He wanted to go on a full-week online gaming marathon. Now you can understand why sitting all day at a computer and being quite overweight are a pretty unhealthy combination. This insane gaming session spans over the incredible period of 27 days or 650 hours. However you put it, it still sounds like a made-up news article, but the sad truth is that this Chinese man spent 4 weeks in an unlicensed internet cafe from the Chaoyang district, playing non-stop and only taking breaks for a couple of hours sleep. For the duration of this gaming marathon, the only thing he ate was ramen instant noodles, the lack of nutritious food leading to the malnutrition that contributed to his death. After a 20-year-old gamer died from deep vein thrombosis, his father started to draw attention towards the negative effects excessive gamings could have. Chris Staniforth appears to have been playing Halo for about 12 hours almost each day, and he became so obsessed with the sci-fi shooter that he forgot to stand up and stretch his legs. Due to long periods of inactivity, a blood clot appeared in his leg, and as it travelled up to his lungs, a pulmonary embolism was caused, leading to the death of this young gamer. Both before and after its release, Diablo 3 caused quite the hype among the gaming industry. Players that were so excited for its release spent hours and hours killing monsters and collecting items. A particularly gloomy case is the one of the Taiwanese gamer known as Chang, who spent no less than 40 hours in an internet cafe, obsessively playing this game. After he collapsed on the keyboard, one of the staff members woke him up, and after taking a few steps, the Diablo 3 fan fell dead on the ground. This was our list showcasing some pretty tragic real-life stories, but we hope you've enjoyed our video. If you did, please press that like button, as we do appreciate it and it helps us immensely. We often ask our audience for suggestions to compile these lists, and if you'd like to contribute, please follow Frag Hero on Facebook. If you know of any other newsworthy stories, please mention them in the comments below, because we do try to read pretty much everything. Now would also be a great time to encourage you to subscribe, because we upload new stuff all of the time, so subscribing will keep you up to date with all of our latest videos. You can also check out fraghero.com for more gaming related articles. But until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day, and please take care of yourself.